It's 3:17 in the morning, and you're staring at the ceiling doing that weird broke person math. If I put $200 into my Roth, keep paying the minimums, and maybe skip eating out next week, I should be fine? Probably. Unless the car makes that noise again, or the dog needs the vet, or rent goes up, or your boss cuts hours. And now your chest is tight because technically you're investing, you're doing the right thing. But somehow one stupid surprise turned your whole life into a financial fire drill. My name is Ford, and I spend way too much time analyzing money, wealth patterns, and figuring out why most people never escape the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. If you're tired of feeling behind and want to understand how wealth actually works, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Look, I know this is going to annoy some people because we've all heard the same advice 1,000 times. Start investing early. Time in the market beats timing the market. Even $50 a month matters. And yes, on paper, that's true. Mathematically, starting early is powerful. But real life is not a spreadsheet. Real life is your transmission going out the same week your kid gets sick and your insurance deductible smacks you in the face. Real life is way messier than finance influencers make it sound. So here's my take. If you do not have at least $5,000 in cash set aside, stop investing for a minute. Seriously, pause. Not forever. I'm not telling you to ignore retirement. I'm telling you to build a survival buffer first, because without one, your so-called investing plan is usually fake progress. It looks responsible from the outside, but underneath, it's fragile. One emergency, and the whole thing unravels. We've been conditioned to believe that if we're not constantly putting money into the market, we're falling behind. That every spare dollar should be working for us. Sounds smart. Sounds disciplined. Sounds like what successful people do. But here's the thing. If every unexpected expense forces you into credit card debt, then your money is not working for you. It's sprinting on a treadmill while interest charges eat your face off. Let me show you what I mean with a normal person. Not some finance YouTuber who makes 40 grand a month teaching people how to save money. Just a regular person. Let's call her Melissa. She's 29, makes $62,000 a year, contributes 6% to her 401k to get the company match. And she's trying to be responsible. So she puts another $250 a month into a Roth IRA. Sound good, right? That's what everybody says to do. Now let's look closer. At $62,000 a year, after taxes, health insurance, and that 401k contribution, maybe she brings home around $3,700 a month, depending on the state. Rent is $1,550. Car payment is $430. Insurance is $170. Utilities and internet, $220. Phone, $80. Groceries, $450. Gas, $180. Student loan, $240. Subscriptions and random little recurring nonsense, maybe $85. Minimum credit card payment, $75. That already puts her around $3,480 before she's really lived. At all. Before birthday gifts, before replacing shoes, before one dinner out, before a prescription, before the oil change she keeps putting off. And because she wants to be good with money, she's also sending $250 a month to the Roth. So now she's operating with basically no margin. Maybe $50. Maybe negative if life acts like life. Then her tires need replacing. That's $800. She doesn't have $5,000. She has maybe $900 in checking and $600 in savings because she's been trying to invest aggressively. So what happens? She swipes the credit card, and now the math gets ugly. That $800 goes on a card with a 24% interest rate. If she only pays $75 a month and keeps carrying balances because life keeps happening, that emergency doesn't cost $800. It can cost well over $1,000 by the time she digs out. Maybe more if another expense gets layered on top. Meanwhile, what did the $250 she put in her Roth do? Maybe it grew 8% annualized in a good long-term market. That's roughly $20 of annual growth on the first $250 she contributed. 20. But the credit card is charging her 24%. So she's earning maybe 8 and paying 24. That's not wealth building. That's financial self-sabotage with a motivational quote slapped on top. And people hate hearing this because investing feels noble. It feels like progress. Emergency funds feel boring. Cash feels lazy. Sitting on $5,000 in a savings account while inflation chips away at it feels inefficient. I get it. Nobody brags at brunch about their fully funded cash buffer. Nobody posts a screenshot of their high-yield savings account and gets a bunch of fire emojis. They post brokerage gains. They post a new car. They post a vacation financed by points and vibes. But boring is what keeps you from getting wrecked. Because the real enemy for most people isn't that they didn't buy an index fund at 23 instead of 27. The real enemy is instability. Constant instability. It's the fact that one little hit turns into debt, then debt turns into stress, then stress turns into bad decisions, then bad decisions turn into years. That's how people lose a decade. Not because they missed some magical stock rally, because they had no cushion. And this is where the financial system quietly punishes normal people. If you have money, problems are cheaper. If you don't, everything costs more. You pay interest. You pay late fees. You pay overdraft fees. You can't buy in bulk. You can't wait for the better deal. You can't absorb a surprise. A rich person's car repair is annoying. A broke person's car repair becomes a debt product. That's why I say 5,000. Not because it's some mystical number. Because for a lot of people, it's enough to handle the kind of stuff that usually knocks them off course. Tires, deductible, plane ticket for a family emergency, minor medical bill, appliance replacement, pet issue. Not every disaster, but enough to stop every inconvenience from becoming 18 months of interest payments. And yes, I know what you're thinking. What if my employer offers a 401k match? Should I really stop everything? Here's how I see it. If there's a match, especially a good one, I'm usually okay with contributing enough to get the full match while you build the 5,000. Because turning down free money is different. But outside of that, if you're putting extra into investing while your cash reserves are basically a joke, of building a house on a wet paper towel, people also underestimate opportunity cost in the wrong direction. They'll say, but if I delay investing for a year, I lose out on market growth. Maybe. Let's do the math honestly. Say you pause extra investing for 10 months to build 5,000. You were planning to invest $500 a month. If the market returns 10% annualized, which is not guaranteed, your missed growth over that short period is not life-changing. But avoiding one $3,000 credit card balance at 24% interest absolutely is. The damage prevented matters more than the tiny growth may be earned. There's also the behavior side, and this part mattered a lot. People think money problems are mostly math. They're not. There's psychology wearing a math costume. When you don't have cash, every purchase feels emotional. You're making decisions from fear, guilt, urgency, and shame. You keep investing because it helps you feel like a future rich person, even while your present-day life is on fire. You tell yourself you're disciplined, but really you're just underprotected. And because you don't want to admit that, you cling even harder to the identity of being an investor. It becomes part of your self-image. Meanwhile, lifestyle creep is cooking in the background. You get a raise, not a huge one, maybe $300 more a month after taxes. Instead of using it to build breathing room, you upgrade the apartment a little, start ordering delivery more often, justify a nicer car because you work hard, and suddenly the raise is gone before it ever hit your net worth. That's how people make more and still feel trapped. And social media makes this way worse. Because now you're not just trying to survive. You're trying to not look behind. You see people your age posting kitchen remodels, new SUVs, luxury apartments, beach trips, soft life, nonsense, and you start to feel like your boring little emergency fund means you're losing. But half the people flexing online are fake rich. Their monthly payments are designer. Their stress is hidden. Their net worth is held together with financing and denial. Real wealth is quiet. Fake wealth is loud. The fake rich person wants to look expensive. The actually wealthy person wants options. Big difference. Options mean you can leave a job you hate. You can say no to a toxic boss. You can handle a $1,200 surprise without acting like your life is ending. That freedom starts with liquidity, not with a sexy portfolio screenshot. So what's the blueprint if you're hearing this and realizing, yeah, that's me? First, keep this simple. If your employer offers a match, grab the match if you can. Then stop all extra investing until your cash reserve hits 5,000. Roth IRA, taxable brokerage, crypto, all of it. Pause. Your mission changes from grow money to stop being financially fragile. Second, put that 5,000 somewhere boring and accessible. High-yield savings account. That's it. Not in stocks. Not in some weird fund. Not locked up chasing an extra 0.5%. This money has one job. Protect the rest of your life. Third, automate it like a bill. Don't rely on willpower. Willpower is cute until Friday night hits and your brain starts making I deserve it arguments. Set an automatic transfer every payday. Even 150 or 200 check adds up fast when you stop pretending you can invest and survive emergencies at the same time. Fourth, cut the stuff that pretends to be small. This is where people roll their eyes because they think I'm about to do the whole latte rant. I'm not. Coffee isn't why you're broke, but the pattern matters. The random 19 here, the 42 there, the subscriptions, convenience fees, buy now, pay later junk, food delivery with fees and tips stacked on top, the upgraded phone plan, the little dopamine purchases after a stressful day. That stuff absolutely can become $400 to $700 a month leaking out of your life. Fifth, if you have high interest debt, especially credit cards, be honest about the order of operations. If your card balance is growing every month, your emergency fund and debt payoff plan may need to happen together. Maybe you build a starter buffer of 1,000 fast so you stop new emergencies from going on the card, then attack the debt hard, then finish building to 5,000. The exact order depends on your situation, but the principle is the same. Stop the bleeding, then rebuild. And don't miss this part. Once you hit 5,000, don't immediately celebrate by financing something stupid. That's what people do. They finally get stable, then they reward themselves back into chaos. I've been so disciplined, I deserve the upgraded wheels. No, you deserve peace. Keep the boring car a little longer. Keep the apartment that isn't Instagram worthy. Keep your fixed costs low enough that your life doesn't require perfection every month. Because fixed costs are what trap people, not just spending. Fixed costs, the stuff you commit to every single month whether you feel like it or not. Rent, car note, insurance, debt payments, phone plan. Those are heavy. They reduce your margin. And margin is what creates wealth. If every dollar already has a job before you even wake up, you're not building a life. You're managing a payment schedule. After the 5,000 is built, then go back to investing hard. And now you can do it from strength instead of anxiety. Now your investments can stay invested. That's the whole point. The problem with investing before you have a cushion isn't just that emergencies happen. It's that emergencies force you to interrupt the plan. You contribute for 6 months, then something breaks, then you pull back, maybe sell something, maybe rack up debt, then start over. That stop-start cycle kills momentum. But if you've got 5,000 sitting there, your tire blowout doesn't touch your retirement. Your deductible doesn't derail your Roth. Your dog eats something ridiculous and needs the vet. Annoying, yes, but not financially catastrophic. That's how actual wealth starts. Stability first, then consistency, then compounding gets a chance to do its thing. And one more thing. The goal here is not to become paranoid and hoard cash forever. The goal is to stop being easy to break. That's it. To create enough financial shock absorption that life can happen without turning into debt and panic. Because when people say, I want to be wealthy, what they usually picture is stuff. Nice house, nice car, nice watch. But the best part of wealth isn't the stuff. It's the absence of fear. It's sleeping through the night because your checking account isn't one surprise away from disaster. It's not having to mentally rehearse which bill you can delay if something goes wrong. It's not feeling your stomach drop every time an unknown number calls. That's real wealth. Space, time, options, calm. So if you're investing right now, but you've got $600 in savings and a prayer, I'm not judging you. A lot of smart people do this. A lot of responsible people do this. They're trying to do the right thing. But the right thing in theory and the right thing in real life are not always the same. Build to 5,000. Give yourself some breathing room. Then go invest like a machine. Because getting rich slowly only works if you can survive the meantime. I'm Ford, and I'll catch you in the next one.